Namaskar, Adab, Sat Sri Akal. A very warm welcome, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are staying safe and healthy and happy as well. The reason आज मैंने happy साथ में ऐड किया है because for the last almost 17 plus months, we all have been connected uh, for a cause which has taken over the entire world. We have been talking about Sushant, the injustices done not only to Sushant but to many more people like Disha, like Jia Khan, and the list is a very long list actually. But what I have seen, what I have observed in the last few months, at least 6 plus months, बहुत सारे लोग have been mentally and spiritually and emotionally drained, completely drained, because they are too much involved in certain aspects of the movement. And they have also, this has also taken a toll on their personal lives, family life, professional life, and whatnot. And that's why I always say, I feel sometimes, I always feel this spiritual power, or sometimes my luck, that I end up happening or end up talking to certain people, and one of those or two of those are going to be joining me tonight on this session, who bring that kind of perspective or that energy that helps us kind of get a good control on ourselves, motivate us in a different manner. I call myself as a self motivator. Kai baar hota hai, I get demotivated and all that stuff, and I try to kind of motivate myself. But it's not always the case. And I also occasionally reach out to people, I occasionally reach out to certain videos, and sometimes to some of those apps which are available on our store or on our phones, which can just direct my energy to the right direction. एंड आज हम एक ऐप के बारे में नहीं बात करने वाले, बट एक उस इमोशन और इस उस फीलिंग के बारे में भी बात करने वाले हैं, विच विल help most of us kind of channelize our energies in the right direction, motivate us, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, but at the same time keep us on this course of life, where we have to do certain things to feed our kids, to do our work अपने office में, personal life में, and to maintain a very good work life balance and a healthy mindset. So having said that, I'm really blessed to have, I've already had the fortune of talking and interviewing and having him on my platform, and everybody knows him because he is someone who has been spreading a lot of good knowledge, information around multiple topics related to our country, to our religion. And I'm talking about Vibhuti Jha, who not only has done a lot for our country outside of our country, but also within our country as well. Uh, and he continues to do that. So I will start off with him as well. Namaste, Vibhuti ji.
Namaste, and
Welcome.
thank you very much for such a warm, and such a lovely introduction. Thank
My,
you.
my
Thank
my
you.
pleasure, and it's my pleasure and my honor again to have you on the screen, because it's always good to have people like you who can continue to give us a fresh perspective, also the experience perspective, and guide us, coach us, mentor us, for, and not only me, for future generations as well. But today's session, I think I was talking to somebody and I said I am also going to be like a mute spectator on this show, because I really want to listen in and to get the guidance and see how we can keep our mindset cool and calm. So really, thank you for doing this for all of us. And please go ahead.
No, I thought you were going to bring in Dr.
Yes. So
Krishna
I
Bhatta.
was saying, while I have you, I'm also very fortunate. I was looking at, Dr. Krishna Bhatta's kind of career graph. I think I am a little speechless, just like I am when I get people like you or him. He is not only a physician or a doctor, but I would call him also somebody who's has patents on his name, somebody who has created or written books as well. So a man of a great kind of career span as well. So Let me take him as well. Namaste, Krishna ji.
Namaste, namaste, Varun ji, and namaste, Vibhuti ji. And thanks for introducing us to Varun and Varun's show.
Wonderful.
Yep.
No, no.
I cannot thank Vibhuti ji enough. So definitely, this is my honor and my pleasure. And I'm really blessed to have both of you sitting right above me, sending me blessings and
Yeah, that's
blessing me.
right.
And that's our culture, right? I mean, we should not forget our culture as well. So, but today the topic is going to be, not about our culture or not going to be about a religion, but something even more important, I feel, because we have all gone through a lot of things in our life. We go through it on a daily basis. We you know get a lot, tensions hoti hai life mein, personal issues hote hain, professional issues hote hain, and whatnot. And we are always looking for something to so that we can get hold of ourselves. And I think maybe Vibhuti ji, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about the basic agenda of this session. Plus, as you can see in the thumbnail, जो लोग जुड़े थे उन्होंने देखा होगा, we are also going to talk about something called as relax. So I will start off with you, Vibhuti ji. Why don't you kind of guide us and start this conversation, and then we can continue forward.
Thank you very much to you, Varun, for having us here, and very thoughtful of you to agree to do this show when I talked with you, because this subject matter is such that it cuts across every brand of human being, every brand of human being, and it doesn't discriminate between people, between genders, between race, between color, between countries. That is all about us as individuals. And we all have the same 24 hours, 7 days in a week,
Yep.
no more, no less. And as a result of which, we have to manage our energy, our focus, our mind, our body and soul, and everything put together. How does one do it? How does it happen that how some people are great performers and some people are in the same environment not performing as well? This was an experience that I had a long time ago. Indian conditions in which either you become an engineer or a doctor, or you struggle to become a government employee. So you have to write hundreds of thousands of people write a common exam and then get a job. So I got my job in RBI. So I was one of those very lucky guys to make the job of 100 advertised positions, of which 25 were reserved for SC/ST, 25 for internal candidates, 50 open seats, and more than 100,000 people write the exam. You make it. So you have a natural arrogance of the youth that comes in. Humne kar diya, right? This was a journey that started. I was in RBI Bangalore, but I had a spiritual streak in me even at that time. So I wanted to learn meditation. I was very enchanted by that. So when I went to the Guruji who taught me TM, and he told me, you have to do this 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. And I said, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. The bank I'm a very important person in the bank and all that stuff. Typical arrogance of the youth.
Yep.
And this is where I'm pointing it out. Why I'm sharing this story of 40 years ago is because that's exactly happening even today, because we are also busy. One of the classic excuses for not doing something good is because we say we are very busy. We have time to watch 3 hours of NFL game, but 20 minutes ke liye ye karne ke liye time nahi hai. I'm busy here.
Yep.
So that Guruji told me when I said to him, I can't do it. He said, young man, I have three things to tell you. If you vanish from the face of this earth this very moment, do you think anything is going to change? And that was a straight punch on my ego. Yeah, Reserve Bank will find somebody to put in that desk tomorrow, good, bad, or ugly. Second thing he said, that was his sense of humor when he said, some people will miss you, but you have any idea how many people would be happy you are gone? It was very strange kind of a humor. And third thing was that once those who will be remaining for you, they will have to revert back to living their normal life, very next moment onwards. And that's something which we realize with your dedication for Sushant Singh's story. you are pursuing. We are all leading our normal life, but we have never given up our cause. That's dedication. That's the time when I learned that ये मुझे करना है क्योंकि ये मेरे भले के लिए है. If I don't control my mind, if I don't control myself, how can I control anything else? And control is not in terms of control, but in terms of managing my own self. So I have been a meditator. It has brought about significant good things in my life. Not that I have changed any bit, but it has brought about a significant change in the response that you have to the life coming to you, coming at you. Because we all go through stress, strain, pressures, happiness, joys. How do we sustain? How do we give up? That's the function of the mind that it happens here. So when we met, Krishna ji and I met, and we have known for each other for a while, he is the major brain behind the Relaxx app. And he is also has a man of a tremendous spiritual streak. He's a physician, he's a surgeon, he's an FRCS, very glorious career in his own way. And we all hit upon this idea that we have to do something, share our experience with others. And आपने जो बताया था ना कि experience की बात कही थी, तो like for example, my son, I tell him all the time that you guys have, your generation, Varun, has significant access to information that we didn't have.
Yep.
Right? The whole universe opens here. It shuts down when you choose to shut it down, right? There is no knowledge, no information, not knowledge, no information that is not available.
True.
I told my son, you have a lot more knowledge, information, and everything. You have far more speed of doing things. But it will take you 30 years to gain 30 years of experience. So knock on me if you want to know something. So Krishna ji and I have been involved in this entire thing. We want to make it global because we decided to make it easier, affordable, and very doable for anybody. That was important for me to do that. So that was critical to do that, and we have done it. And this is what we want to share with you. How do you take care of yourself? That's it important. Krishna ji?
Yep. Please go ahead, Krishna ji.
No, it's great to be here, and I don't know where to start. But there was a time in my life when I had kind of inclination to leave medicine and just be a sannyasi, that path. And then I always say this, that I follow Krishna. He stayed in the mainstream. War or no war, yuddha or no yuddha. He was in the mainstream. He never left it. There has been times after that, like Buddha and Mahavir, who were born in royal families but left their kingdom. But if you go in ancient history, whether it is Ram, or whether it is Krishna, or whether it is Janak, they stayed in the mainstream. So I thought, it's like I follow Gita. I love Krishna, so let me stay in the mainstream and have a parallel track. So I am as much into meditation as I am in medicine. And I use a word called, spiritual material continuum. So it's not two different domains. It's like time and space continuum. Time and space are not separate. They are one. Physicists say that. Einstein said that. But at the same time, material and spiritual is not separate. And that's a conversation that, Varunji, there is a lot of catching up to do. I mean, I won't go too much into my personal life, but we can at some stage. But, the technology has advanced, thinking has advanced. Even the bad guys, even the drugs trade is happening on WhatsApp, right? But somehow the spiritualism or spiritual, the deep spiritual thinking and practices have still stayed with, ashrams, and, it's like there is a little lag there. And that lag we are trying to fulfill. Can we create an app which will work like a portable guru? I mean, it's, in the era of Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, it's hard to replace it. But, there is a possibility, and that possibility is what we are ex- exploring, expressing in the app, because the app is not just one kind of meditation, like Vibhuti mentioned about TM, Mahesh Yogi, or Vipassana with Goenka, but we have brought multiple meditations, and not just meditation, but also like positive psychology, and the area of what works on mind and brain into it, to make it more comprehensive package. We are also thinking of putting some ebooks in that, which maybe for children, maybe for stress, maybe for anxiety. And we have some already authors, great authors, willing to contribute to that. So that's where we are at the moment, and we'll touch other topics as we go along.
Right. And Vibhuti ji, when he was talking, for a second I thought he was just talking about me, the man who of multiple excuses. Time nahi hai, and life busy hai. Yes, it's not that I lie, it's that definitely we all get busy. But saying that you can't find time for certain things, अभी इस टाइम पे कोई मेरी इंटरेस्ट की चीज के लिए कोई आके कहेगा, I will make time, right? I mean, if somebody tells me, Varun, let's go for this car drive or something, no matter what I am doing, no matter where I am, I will find time, I will fix that free slot of my time. So it's definitely an excuse, and it has happened to me many a times that I, after telling somebody that I'm busy, I say, yeah, maybe I could have done this, maybe I should have done this. But when it comes to this spirituality and the mental peace and all that, I don't think we should even think of having a choice. We should not even think, you know what, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe, I'll and I'm a very real time or a real life example. For the last, I would say, close to 14 months, the amount of, and not to kind of, feel ashamed of, but the amount of weight I've put on, the amount of time I've spent on this chair myself has been enormous, rather than being with my kids and all that stuff, because I want to focus on something. I've lost focus on other things as well. So it is very important for us to, while we are focused on a certain aspect of life or do something that you feel very close or connected to, but then life won't wait. Life is continuously moving, and you're losing your time. So you really want to focus, and I think that's why it was very important for us to talk about this topic, this app as well. And but let me just ask you a very simple question to both of you, and I'd love to see what are your perspective or your answers. There are so many these like spiritual gurus. I've been told myself that, Varun, you should follow an ideology, you should follow a guru, and you should do this, and that will give you a lot of peace. I have tried as well. Yes, it has helped as well, but then it always becomes a challenge to find that fixed amount of time every single consecutive week or month or whatever. So why or how do you feel about connecting with a physical space like an ashram, going to a spiritual guru, versus what you guys have to offer? If you guys can kind of talk a little bit about that.
Raji, you go first on this one.
Um, so, Varun, there are two kind of practices. One is you take a lineage. So, if you want to follow Buddha, you go into Buddhist path and follow that as far as long as you can do. The same with Jainism, Sikhism, whatever. Then there is a path of a kind of a rebel or revolutionary. They don't, it's like, and typical example is Buddha. So Buddha followed, he went to many, many teachers, and he followed their message to the hilt, and then he didn't get it. So ultimately, he became his own, and then he got enlightened. So these are two paths. One is longer. So if you don't follow one path or one sect or one guru, it takes longer. The journey is longer, but ultimately you get to the same place, but it's your work. And I am more of that path, although I say, I love Krishna, I follow him, but at the same time, I also was, Osho was my guru at one time as well. So that's the path, Osho followed the same path, independent path. So these both are there, and the app is more like the independent people who can do anything. I mean, they are more like adventurous, type of people rather than conformist. Um, does that answer your question? But life should be simple, and the app should be simple. The methodology should be simple, but it does take time. Like like for anything, like setting up your show,
Yep, yep.
it has
No, it
taken.
does, and that's what I think. I'm also getting a sense that, like I said, right. I mean, when I was looking for something like that, the first thing that I have to look for is my own schedule. Okay, now if I have to go to somebody, then I need to fix up the time with that individual. I have to fix up a time on my calendar. I have to make sure there are no conflicts and all that. But if I miss it, it's like sometimes it's like you get another compensatory class or something like that. Otherwise, you just miss it. Versus, as I can see this, if I could get the same kind of benefits from, say, this app at the comfort of my home, maybe at the comfort of my couch or in my backyard or wherever I am, I think why not is how I feel about this app. Vibhuti ji, what would you?
Yeah, I'll say something very simple here. They say the time is of essence. Nobody has enough time,
Yeah,
and nobody can change the equation of 24/7, 365 in a year.
correct.
It is fixed for everyone, right? Given that scenario, one of the things which I learned because of living away from home since the age of 9 or 10 was having an open mind. I'm a great believer in that concept of having an open mind. Be willing to listen, be willing to change, see what works for you. Because we are all different people. World may talk, politics may talk about equity, equality, and all that, but deep down we all know that individual differences are real. We all look different. Even identical twins have differences in there.
Yep.
So the question here is that if we do not recognize and respect individual differences, then the sense of equality and equity makes no sense. We have to respect Varun the way he is. I must respect Krishna ji the way he is. That respect and acceptance is key. So I have always kept an open mind. But then we all need a path or a guidance. वो कहते हैं ना गांव में पगडंडियां हुआ करती हैं. So what happens is that you need a path. So guiding light comes to you from some source. That source may be Buddha, maybe Jainism, maybe Mahavir, maybe Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, or wherever it comes from.
Yeah.
For me, that light came from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi ji, and that teacher who taught me what he taught me, that everything begins and ends in your mind. So body gets tired, we get a massage done, right? We get a foot massage done. You are very tired, you catch some good sleep and have a drink and feel good. But when was the last time any one of us gave an actual rest to our mind? And
Yeah.
that's the important part. When the mind is at rest, then rest of the things function. And that's where all the processes that are there, whether it's meditation, call it by any name, Hatha Yoga or Raj Yoga, jo bhi keh le aap,
Correct.
process is the same. So, like you said, you put on weight. There is a
Yeah.
very simple logic why people put on weight. You know why? Because I was also once upon a time like that. To use the language of economics, my propensity to put on weight is greater than one. तो आप प्यार से पानी पिला देंगे वो भी कैलोरी बन जाती है मेरे लिए.
Yep.
So
That's
it was
what.
a tough struggle, but I lost 55 pounds.
Oh wow.
Now I stand at 202. I hit 202. I'm from 250 and all. I did it. You know why? Because there's a beautiful word called commitment. And that commitment comes from sacrifice. And that commitment comes from, yes, mujhe ye karna hai, not because karna chahiye. I don't use the word should in my language. Normally, nobody will hear the word ever. I mentioning anytime, you should do that. But there is a reason why vices don't go. You know what is my theory is, and this is my theory. I'm not copying from anywhere. That the present value and entertainment of consumption and entertainment far outweighs any future potential gain. तो मेरी माँ कहती थी आज गुलाब जामुन खा लो कल नाश्ता मत करना, that kind of stuff, and that has a multiplier effect. So let me have my fun today. We'll see what happens tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
what is important for us to figure out. That for everything that has to happen, there is an element of sacrifice involved. There is a commitment involved, and that's what is important for all of us. There's
Correct.
nothing which is beyond our reach. Everything is possible.
True.
And that is possible when our mind is at rest, because this is where everything happens. My reaction, my response is everything all about you. You ask me a question, my answer to that question, my response to that question will determine the quality of the conversation later. It's up to me. And it's not that we don't make mistakes, but the sooner you recognize that, the better it is for everybody.
Right, right, right. No, absolutely. And again, um, every single word that's coming out of your mouth, both of you, I can. It looks like as if you've read me or my life and everything that has happened in my life. This is what used to happen. It still is happening in my household as well. You know what? And especially now with New Year coming up, uh, इस साल जो किया नहीं वो अगले साल के लिए अभी से plans बन रहे हैं, but I'm pretty sure on the first or the second again the plans will go down the drain because the commitment, the lack of that commitment is always there, and we all do that. I've also done the same thing, whereas paid for a 1 year subscription for the entire year for a gym on the 1st or 2nd of January and showed up what once or twice. So and that's how we all have been. I would say uh, uh, I don't want to say brought up, but ऐसा ही होता है. Anyways, coming back to this important thing that you guys are doing for a lot of people or a lot of us like me. Again, I'm focused more on me because I already mentioned at the start of the program for this particular session, I take it as a personal one-on-one kind of coaching and mentoring session from both of you, because I am very sure this Varun Kapoor, there are many Varun Kapoors who will be watching and listening, and they'll be relating that, what is he talking about me? Is he talking about what I've done or I'm doing right now or what I should be doing? So all that is all going to be about me as well. And so let's talk about this particular idea first. Both of you have accomplished so much. You have gone through, and you just gave us another example of how you lost that 50 pound, but I'm sure it's just not about one aspect of weight. There are other aspects as well which you would have thought कि मुझे ये भी करना चाहिए और मुझे इस पे focus. So tell us a little bit about the ideation process about this, and then kind of get us into this app as well, as to see or tell people why they should go and think about using this. So either of you, whosoever wants to.
So, Vibhuti ji, I like that kala jamun example. I do that all the time. It's like I'll eat my kala jamun and skip a lunch or something. So I love that kala jamun so much. It's a sweets made for me. Uh, you know, uh, one of the thing, Varun, it's like one of the questions that people come across in whenever, and it started from Arjun's question to Krishna, and your question and everybody's question is, how do you control the mind? And it's like whatever you do meditation, you do any work, mind is kind of is in the way. And one of the things, classic things people say, that especially when you do meditation, is you watch the mind as a witness, your thoughts like a third person. But you have a focus, right? At the moment you're focused on, say, SSR, right? When you are focused on that, do other thoughts come in, by the side of it? Your, like you talked about weight, probably that comes, what you eat comes, your gym comes. All those things are in suspension kind of around you, but you are focused on one thing and you get that thing done. So when it comes to meditation, it's no different. The focus is on that meditation technique, and I use the word coexist. So you basically are coexisting with everything around you with focus on one thing that you want to achieve. And this coexistence is a new phenomena that happened to me, and I like it more than I used to witness part. It's like coexisting them. When you coexist, I mean, three of us are coexisting right now, and three of us are different. We have everything, and there are things going on around each of us. But we are focused on this topic. We are talking about this topic. The same, if you are doing any kind of meditation, whether it is TM or whether it is Vipassana, or I use the word intermittent silence, which, we will talk briefly about, is that, Vibhuti was saying, give your brain a rest. So you do everything that you are doing in your 24 hours the way you are doing for 5 to 10 minutes a day. All you do is close your eyes, close your mouth, watch all the thoughts that are going on, and listen to all the sound around you. Just it transforms your life. It gives, opens door to inside you. And it's an amazing influence that you will find. 5 to 10 minutes of just keeping quiet time, spending time with yourself. All your 86 billion neurons will thank you, because when you close your eyes, the visual pathway and all the processing power is rested. When you close your mouth, all the expression, centers, they get rested. The whole brain is rested. Yes, your thoughts are going and you just coexist with everything as if, you're just there and everything else is also there. You acknowledge them. Sometimes the thoughts will hijack you, but you can always come back. So you cannot do anything wrong. So in meditation, if somebody says you are doing it wrong, there is something wrong there. Because if you are spending time with yourself, that's meditation itself. Slowly and slowly, the focus will stay like, your focus on one or two things.
Yeah, the one thing which I would also add here is considering the fact that, one of the things which always bothers people, कि mind को rest कैसे दिया जा सकता है? That's the most tricky element, and that's what Krishna ji was saying, that when you pause everything in your life for those 5 or 10 minutes, that's the time when you begin to calm things down. Taking the sports analogy, you may make a massive dunk that will make ESPN top 10, but the point still will be two, right? Compared to a layup or just a simple shot. That's something one needs to understand, that your mind gets rest only when you let it rest. If in this world of social media, we have always a desire, kaha kya ho raha hai? From Clubhouse to Facebook to the
Space.
universe of it.
Yep.
We are all part of WhatsApp groups. There are thousands of messages coming every day. You can't see anything, right? And then you see you are still catching up. So you don't want to catch up. You just want to leave that. And have you realized that if you have not visited a group for 7 days, no sky fell?
True.
Things continued as they were. That's the time when I realized the teaching that I got, 3 teachings when I got in as many years ago. Do you think anything will change? Does CNN, Fox, MSNBC news change because I didn't watch it? Nothing changes. It's all about us. It's like the very famous statement goes as my field of banking, which I talk about. It's not important how the market is doing. How are you doing in that market is important, right? Because in the supply and demand scenario, somebody is losing money. That's why somebody is winning. Not everybody wins. When the market is high, not everybody wins. There are some people who lost.
Still losing. Yep.
Yes, it is a part of process. So what each one has to do is to come to terms with yourself. What am I looking for? What am I looking? Where am I in this? Not everybody in America is a billionaire. Not everybody in India is poor. There are people who are wealthy in smaller countries as well. So that's forget about the karmic law. I'm saying that these things will happen. There are idiots everywhere. There are wise men everywhere. That's what is important to realize. And the controlling of the mind is not you control. You let the mind free. And something what Krishnaji was talking about, you were saying about, there are a lot of baggage, chatter, clutter that exists. How do you clean your mind? You clean your mind by letting it rest. Because everything piles on there, right? Your past baggages, your stories of happiness, sadness, pain and sorrows, joys and everything is sitting here. And suddenly we all remember, Are, आज से 50 साल पहले ये हुआ, 30 साल पहले ये हुआ, and everything comes back as a video memory. But if you do not erase that, जैसे प्लेट में खाना खाते हैं ना, so you clean the plate, right? You don't eat in the used plate every day. You clean the plate to eat again. Think about how will you clean your mind? How will you clean your body? Somebody told me from Middle East, I don't like New York. I don't like America. There's a lot of rain and snow. So I just said to him, when was the last time you had a shower? He says, what do you mean? I take shower every day. So I said, you feel good, right? I said, that's our concept is that whenever Mother Earth wants to clean up the muck we leave on the countryside, rain comes, cleans up. Think about it from that perspective. So we need to clean ourselves. Meditation is that process. You call it any other method. Everything you need to do to clean your mind, rest your mind. And that's the time when you recharge. That's where the energy comes in again. I'll stop here.
Yeah, no, that's another great example that you've given, and I think I steal a lot from a lot of people. I'm gonna steal that as well, and I'm gonna use it. The analogy you gave of a used plate. Okay, obviously, you need to clean the plate the next time you, or else ब्रेन के चक्कर में डिस्पोजेबल भी चक्कर नहीं चल सकता, राइट? You don't have a disposable brain कि चलो आज ये fit किया, it fits with my dress today, and then I pick up the next brain. So that's not the case. So very very great, some of great points. While you continue to do that, I'm going to take some of these.
Please
You've
do.
already
Please do.
answered one of the questions about mind being restless, but how can I create or increase discipline to move forward, or instill better habits or discipline to move towards success? What steps can you recommend? What specific tools besides the perfectory?
So, Varun, I saw that question from Arthur. Thank you. That question.
Ashnur. Ashnurji.
Ashnur.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh,
आपने
Ashnur.
Ashnur
Yeah,
को
that's right.
आपको
Yeah,
बना
I
दिया
know.
सर.
I just put Arthur there, Ashnur. That's a great question. So, Vibhuti gave you some hints. So there are two ways to deal with any of the things like that. One is work on mind, and the other is work on the inside, which I call the flame, to build the inner strength. So how do you work on your mind? So mind, the classic methods are affirmation, build your resilience, all these psychological terms, they work. They condition your mind. You wash the plate, as Vibhuti was saying. So those techniques also work. There is power of suggestion, power of affirmation, power of determination, and you can train your mind to do that. You can condition your mind to do that, and that's what many people do: condition our mind to think one way or the other. Mind has, at Relaxx, we divide mind into two portions. One is minding, which is, all these thoughts keep going on in your mind. And the other is mindfulness. There is a lot of, work and meditations related to mindfulness. All the guided meditations, they work on the mind, because they only can work on the mind. Because if I suggest that you go to a jungle and you feel a tree, and all those things are factors of the mind. The other portion, which is, once you close your eyes, in that silence, you see this all this like happiness, jealousy, joy, and all these things. Creativity is inside you. It comes from inside you, which is um, your individual consciousness. So meditation, most of the deeper meditations, and many of them are in our app, work on that part to create. So you conserve energy and create energy. So you don't work on the mind. So any of these meditations, you leave the mind alone, let the mind float, coexist with the mind, but you work, you conserve energy and create energy. And once you have a higher energy, suddenly you live a better, happier life. You are more peaceful. The lower the energy, more irritable you are. So these are the two ways to do it. One is you work on the mind, train your mind to do something. That's what the schools do, that's what colleges do. And they have done a great job. We have created scientists, we have created Google, we have created Amazon, we have created NASA. All that has come from the mind, domain of mind. But once you build from inside the strength, we can perform better. Does that answer question?
I will add to that. I will add to that. Like, because we are all different people. So, Ashnur, I will try to be very specific to your desire to create increased discipline control. Now, this is a challenge which everybody faces. We want to do something. So first of all, I'll give you a very, very simple prescription. Although there is a doctor here, but I'm giving you the prescription here, is stop using the word should. If you want to increase the discipline in your life, the first baby step is do not use the word should. One of the most lethal words which incapacitates you from doing anything is I should do this. Stop using that. Instead, activate it by saying, I need to do that. That is a thing which Krishnaji was talking about, reinforcement.
Affirmation, I would do that.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I need to do that. I must do that. Not should. Should induces a lethargy. That's one important part. And discipline is something comes from commitment. It's a very simple word. It comes from commitment. मुझे ये करना है और अभी करना है. That's a very important part. We do that in our work too with others. Anything that you want to do, add 2 words to that. By when? If I ask you for a glass of water, you won't be able to deliver it. But if I'm sitting across you and I say, I want a glass of water, I want now. I don't want it 2 days later. I don't want 2 hours later. I want it now. So use the word by when. You will see the difference happen in every relationship that you are having. मुझे ये करना है, by when. Second thing that you said, move forward and instill better habits and discipline. We talked about discipline. Habits is something which I wanted to share with you. Habits die hard. There's a reason why that phrase exists. Because habits put us in a comfort zone. And there is a reason it's called a comfort zone. Because we all get so comfortable there. It's only when you break through the comfort zone, then you are able to break your habit. That's important. That's very, very important that you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to break your habit, whether you're doing A, B, C, D, E, F, or whatever. That's what will take you to baby steps to success. Nothing happens overnight. But the tools that are required, there are many of them. But you have to decide, are you happy doing what you are doing? That's your own fitment that is essential. 99% of the time. I know I've met many techies here. All of them say one thing to me in a private. We became an indentured labor. टेक्नोलॉजी पढ़ के आया, यहाँ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेबर में फंसे हुए हैं, पैसे मिल रहे हैं, ग्रीन कार्ड मिलेंगे, उसकी जिंदगी चल रही है, घर का भाड़ा दे रहे हैं, चल रहा है, दैट्स ऑल. किसी जमाने में ग्रीन कार्ड आ जाएगी, फिर देखेंगे क्या होता है. We have all become victims of indentured labor. And that's something that we need to work. So in my talk on Jaipur Dialogue, I had said, don't look for a job. You will get a job, whether it's Apple, Google, or flipping burgers. You will always get a job. Find what you love to do most. Which what and how you love to do most is what comes naturally to you. And that is another topic we will talk about it some other time.
Yep.
But think about it, come back again with a deeper question, deeper argument to have. I'm willing to have a conversation.
Wonderful.
Just one little word that in Sanskrit, there is a word called sankalp. And I love that word because, every time you go to do some puja or something, the first element is sankalp. A little baby steps, like Vibhuti said. You I will do this for the next 1 hour. It's just simple things, and that I just love that word. That you don't want to promise for the whole year. Just for the next 2 hours I will do this thing, and you
Yeah.
get it done and complete. So that's a good trick. That
Great. Great. While I know we'll be talking more in the subsequent sessions as well. I would rather take these two last questions before you talk a little bit more about this app and kind of tell people why they should kind of liquidate it. But uh, one of the questions that you see on the screen: why do people move away from the so-called material world? Are they not able to cope with the present?
um, yeah, there is a short answer and there is a long answer to that. One is, like I didn't move out from the material to spiritual, but um, the bigger thinking behind this sannyas, karm sannyas is the word that people use, that Gita uses, um, is that some people, they have this logic that I have done the same thing for many, many lives in the past and didn't get anywhere. So I did get a job, have married, got married. So whatever the material world offers, I've done that for many, many lives. This life, I'm not going to do that. I will try uh, getting away from that. So that's one reason, one spiritual reason, I would say. But at the same time, there is a big talk in Gita about the karma yoga, which is nishkam karma, that you stay in the material world, but you have the spiritual growth as well. Um, I don't know which one is harder. Depends on the personality. But I think the point made there is that do some people find material world harder to deal with, and maybe some of that. Sometimes it happens that people do escape, and that happens in everything. It's like life. Uh, if 90% people are going because of one reason, 10% go for just escape. So I think there was some strength in the question or some truth in the question, but you know there are different reasons that are mentioned.
Got it. Vibhuti ji, aap kuch, you want to add something?
Now let's go to the next question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more which I'm taking is जो लोग very बहुत sensitive, ये हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स है इसलिए मेरे को भी थोड़ा एक मिनट, जो लोग बहुत सेंसिटिव माइंड के होते हैं उन्हें कैसे रिवाइव अपने माइंड को करना चाहिए यदि उनके आसपास मोस्टली लोग हार्ड नेचर वाले हों? ओहो।
That's very simple, actually. It's a very important question. But surprise, surprise, the answer is very easy. It's your choice. You forget about that element. Everything that we are doing in life is a choice we make. Believe it or not. I'm here by choice. Krishna ji is here by choice. Varun is doing this show by choice. Because we all felt, and I see Rachna ji is talking about that we are doing sessions like this here. Everybody is here by choice. So if you people around you are not helping you, why are you with them? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Unless and until opposite poles attract, you need their company for other reasons. That's perfectly fine. But your question indicates that you obviously do not like them. If you do not like them, why are you with them? Why are you tolerating them? Move away. You left India and came here. We travel 10,000 miles here and we complain about the company we keep here. Who are we blaming then? Think about it from that perspective. My approach to life is like that. वो कहते हैं वो अफसाना जिसे अंजाम तक लाना न हो मुमकिन उसे एक खूबसूरत मोड़ देके छोड़ना अच्छा, right?
क्या बात है. Very nice. Very nice.
Um,
So
you know,
if
I like that answer, but I also understand what where
yeah,
she's
I
yeah,
understand that
Kanchan
because
is
you are
coming
living in
from.
a community, you're living in a community you can't just wish away, but you always have a choice of friends. I may live in housing colony A, because of whatever reason, and there are 20 houses there. There are 20 different people. I may not like all of them at all. They are the nuisance. So I have a choice to leave the house and move somewhere else. People do, and you manage that. That's what is important. That's where you have to take the onus on your hand that I don't want to handle this situation. It's becoming hurtful to me. It's giving no peace of mind to me. My environment, if an environment it makes you unhappy, then we have to exercise a choice. That's the point which I'm trying to do. And we will talk about the app now.
Sure.
It's a very
Sure.
important thing that
Oh,
you talked about. Yeah, Krishna.
let me just give another angle
Sure.
to, because this happened to me actually. I was given a topic and I was doing my book talk, Varun, and the topic given to me was death and donuts. So, and that really sparked my interest into, do I
Mhm.
like all the donuts? It's like gulab jamun. So, the whole idea is that I mean, for people who are in US and Canada, they will know that there is Tim Horton, and I love their donut called honey curlers. So when I go there, I pick my honey curlers, but that doesn't mean the other donuts don't exist.
Yeah.
And for lack of any other words, what Kanchan is talking about is chili donuts, and they don't exist. But some donuts can be like bitter. In life, those people, like my colleagues, my work, I mean, there is not always friendly people, but I pick and choose my memories, my interactions, my relationship. So I just don't move away from everybody, because some of them may be my boss and I hate them, or they we don't get along, but we coexist. So that's where my coexistence kind of formula seems to work there very well, because yes, I will have limited interaction, or whatever it is, and and relish the memories, or relish the people that I interact with, like Ruti ji is saying, that you have the choice. You choose to remember the interactions with greater people, or nicer people, and that is so overwhelming that you don't care about the interactions, or you give it as little importance as you can to those that are not pleasant. But life is a mixture of pleasant and unpleasant
Right.
things, and surroundings.
Absolutely. All right. Last few minutes. Let's talk more about the app. This was a great answer, and I could go or elaborate. I'm gonna park this question for our next session, because to this mix, I'm gonna add a little bit, and maybe I'll leave you guys with that thought. For the next session is, while we are talking about our bosses, our friends who we maybe have a choice of picking, but sometimes there are certain other people who don't fall in that category, and these could be family members and all that stuff as well. But we'll take this up in the next session when we talk more about those angles. I think that's where Kanchanji was also maybe alluding to or coming from. But let's talk a little bit about this app now, and how can this app help me as an individual, or anybody who is looking forward to this help or guidance.
Krishnaji, you take the first shot. I'll close.
Okay, thank you, Vibhuti. Um, so this app has got, it's like a wide coverage. So we start things for a 4-year-old, but 4-year-old is not going to meditate, sit down, cross-legged, and chant Om or something, right? So for them, we have built exercises that are, it's like blow the candle or blow a balloon or, breathe like a horse. So something that can engage, his age group. And then we have gone through this, all the age groups to the teachers in the school type. Then we have workplace wellness. Then we have, anxiety routines. But our core element rests around what we call intermittent silence and the inner universe. So body is, something we all have. Mind, we all know, body and mind. We have to find a balance. Mind has got minding and mindfulness. But there is another element we all have. We call it flame of consciousness. We all have individual consciousness. And that is where all the creativity, all the energy, all the source comes from. That is where I call the stem cell of our inner universe, which can change into anything. For you, it may be, bringing ideas for the show. For a musician, it may be music. For Einstein, it may be formulas. So all those things come from inside. It doesn't come from your head. And whatever I'm saying is deep rooted in our ancient um, uh, scriptures like Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. So the concept comes from there. So the nucleus is the soul or spirit, and then we have our individual consciousness, and then we have the mind and the body. And a lot of that work is in the meditation area, where you can work on your inner consciousness. And then we have music, nature sound, and soon we will have a playlist. Like if you can't sleep, we will help you sleep. If you sleep well, we will help you sleep deeper. And if you sleep deep, we can help you to take you to conscious deep sleep, which is yoga nidra. So we have, all levels of, it's like progression that you can make through the app. And the best way is to download and explore it.
I will add here, just to add, literally to add here, is that, draw an analogy of a temple. We all go to the temples and we offer prayers to the deity whose blessings we need, right? So if we go and do namaskar to Bhagwan Ganesh and walk away, Mahalakshmi doesn't come with a bhala to kill us, right? So you go to fulfill your own need. So this app is designed in such a manner that it addresses an individual's issues and concerns. We all have issues. You know, whether it is health related, mind related, rest related, sleep related. As a matter of fact, believe it or not, I shared this particular thing with some of the people in Seattle, technology guys. The guy was a very senior fellow, and he said, "Oh my God, it worked wonders for my wife's sleep." So that's what I'm trying to say to you. So explore, go and seek it out, and decide which one is for you. Dive deeper in that. So that's what I want to say to you. I may need certain chakras to work better in my body. You might need some other chakras to work. We have solutions for all of it, and including, Krishnaji alluded to that earlier on, including children, because they are the fastest learner. So I go back to one thing, which is not, we have not done a research yet on that, but I know from TM movement there was a research done that schools where TM was introduced, the performance goes up because mind gets rested. And it's all about the alignment of all our elements of our body. I won't use 3, 4. I said various elements of our body. And that's what is the most important part. So, hey, you lose nothing downloading, check it out. Come back with questions. And that's why we are here. Because we want to reach this message to as many people as possible, because these practices, with the help of technology, are universal practices. These are universal concerns. I joke with Krishnaji and all the doctors that doctors don't treat anything else but the disease. They don't look at the color of the person, where he comes from. They are attending to a particular concern. That's the important part. This is critical for us to understand. So go ahead, check it out, download, come up with your question, and let's talk about it. Because it helps. It will really help humanity, if I may say so.
Yeah.
Is 1 to the power of n. That is the power of this entire exercise and work that we are trying to do here.
Exactly. And the reason I'm glad we are kind of on the verge of this session. But this is one request, I think, maybe on behalf of Vibhuti ji and Krishna ji, that you should definitely install. It is a free app right now. Of course, there are a couple of things which are already available. Try them out, and in the next session that we do next Tuesday, we would love to hear from you all. What have your experiences been? What are the good things that you see in this app, the value add that this app can do for you? And not only that, why not anything negative as well? I mean, if there's something missing or there's a gap or something that you would love to see, I'm sure both Vibhuti ji and Krishna ji would be more than happy to hear that out and see how they can add it to this particular suite of applications, I could call them, or suite of features that are already available. But in a nutshell, uh, just give it a try. I have given a quick kind of a try last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Frankly speaking, and not because I'm doing this show or I'm doing or kind of talking about this, but frankly speaking, I again relate everything to the Sushant Singh Rajput movement. Uh, the kind of stuff that we do on social media, the kind of stuff we do in our personal life, professional life, and all thanks to problems like, and I call it a problem because it is a big problem for me, and I'm sure it's a big problem for everyone, which is COVID, which has really changed the way we used to live, the way we used to behave on a daily, weekly basis. All this has put on a lot of pressure, tensions around us every single day, especially people like me who have small kids. We are constantly worried about not only their education, their growth, their physical and mental growth, sitting at home. Plus, to add to that, we're always constantly worried about whether we should let our kids go out and all, and have that kind of social growth that was actually happening earlier but has stopped now. But with all that going around us, we really need something, and I think this is a perfect app. Of course, when I say perfect, as in this is a good start. I'm sure people are using certain other things, but I think for Vibhuti ji and for Krishna ji, I think it would be great if you guys can also try and let them know, if this helps. And absolutely, in favor of something like this, because like what Krishna ji mentioned, try making a 4-year old do any kind of meditation. Good luck with that, because that ain't gonna happen. So making a 4-year old just sit down for like maybe 2 minutes is practically impossible. But
30 seconds, 30 seconds, you can't do that.
I at least I have the power of 2 minutes with my 3-year old, so I'm vouching on that. But frankly speaking, getting them to do any kind of this kind of work is not. But if it's in the form of a game, I can make my kids like run a marathon as well if I add some kind of something that is of interest to them. So of course, like I said, I am not an expert myself. I am a user, and I want all of you to be the users of this. And we will talk more, and that's where I'm gonna kind of end this before I take the final comments for this session. That I am really excited. I am really looking forward to, because personally, I'm sure this will make a big impact on my personal, mental, spiritual peace of mind. And I really want you all to kind of validate it for yourself, बहुत सारी बातें हैं, जैसे मैं कंचन जी के क्वेश्चंस हैं, बहुत सारे और भी लोगों के क्वेश्चंस और पॉइंट्स हैं, हम वो भी एड्रेस, थ्रू दीज एक्सपर्ट्स वील ट्राई टू एड्रेस दोज. But more importantly, let's bring that kind of calmness, that soothness that we all deserve in our lives. But at the same time, let's get that focus that is missing. And like Vibhuti ji said, stop you doing certain things which are not in the right direction, like using the word should. So I'd say I will not use the word should. I will try to say I need to do it, and I will make things happen rather than thinking of making things happen. I will make them happen. So before we get out of this session, and I really want everybody to just focus on this app. I really want to end it here itself. But last comments from both of you, and something that you guys can leave all of us with for the next session that we do on Tuesday. Anyone who wants to go first?
Krishna ji, go ahead.
So, Varun, I mean, my thing is that what our goal is, our mission or vision is that we want to be the world's destination for intermittent silence, wellness, and meditation. Any input from people, your viewers, your listeners, will be highly appreciated.
Absolutely. Vibhuti ji.
I have one thing to say, that all the young people here, you have asked some wonderful questions. And Rashna ji, your question that what is the daily rituals that we can't live without? I would be very happy to talk about it, but we'll keep it for the next show. And that will make sure that you are there. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a creature of feedback and follow up. All my life, I have believed in that. In business, you follow up, you get the business. You leave it, you lose it. And I believe in feedback. And feedback is not something like saying that, oh, it's such a nice speech or it's such a nice thing. No, what I could have done better. And that's the intent that Krishnaji was talking to you, is that this is not the last show. This is not the only thing. And we want to improve upon this. The improvement comes from feedback from people who are users.
True.
And that's what I want to say. So give us the feedback, how you feel. I can tell you the feedback that we have received so far, but that's not what we are here for. We are here to share what we have done, and I'm thankful to Varun for experimenting with us and learning something new. So give a shot, give a try. It will do you immense good. It must, over a period in time. This is not, it's not like taking Imodium. If you are diarrhea, you need a wellness plan, takes longer to happen. That's what is important. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And before I end, like I said, this app is available on Apple Store, on Google Play Store. Download it, try it out. There's also, I think, a paid version, but at least you could try out the free version of whatever is available around certain things. There are certain sections on the app which are okay. Please park your questions, Sydney. Great question, but maybe I'm gonna make a note of all these questions for next time. If you guys forget, I'm gonna put them to both these amazing speakers because uh, I wish they can answer it and give me the magic kind of wand as well, so that I could have a very happy and content life. But I would love to hear them next time as well. Like I said, download this app, and try it out for yourself. And we'll talk more in the subsequent session that we do next Tuesday, same time, which is 6 p.m. It's gonna be very focused around this aspect of our life, and with by doing this, I think the only goal that I'm sure Vibhuti ji and Krishna ji are trying to do is, make it a little better for each one of us individually, as a community, and overall for the world. And I wish them all the very best, for this app to be, uh, you know, tagged as the number one app in the next, few weeks, months. I don't know the time frame, but something that really gives a lot of help to people who really need it. So, on that note, thank you, both of you, and thank you for people who are watching and listening.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next Tuesday, 6 p.m. PST, which is 9 p.m. EST, 7:30 a.m. IST. as we continue this journey together with you all. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Good
Good
night.
night, everyone. Bye.